Which option is best for home defense? Of course, this is my personal opinion based on my situation and the layout of my home. Everyone could have their own opinion, but hope this video helps you decide which is best for you. For me, the best option is the pistol. Why? It's lighter, it's easier to maneuver with, it's easier to get access to. It still allows the laser and the light. And the reason I like the laser is because I've made it so in the distance where possibly someone could break in, all I need to do is turn this on, which you have to do pretty much with the shotgun and AR as well, is to turn on the light to identify the threat if this is in the middle of the night. And wherever the laser is pointing to is where the bullet is likely to go. In that case, I don't need to worry too much about aiming. As long as I could get the laser pointed to the threat and fire off a few rounds, I should be able to hit the target. Which I used to have initially as my home defense option. This also has a flashlight. I set this up in cruiser ready mode, which is basically there's shells in the tube, and as soon as you pump, one will go into the chamber. Now, many say that noise itself is enough to scare off the threat, but obviously no one knows until that threat is in your house, so make sure you have it ready to go. This is a good option because you don't need to aim as carefully as you do with the other two. The pistol is the hardest for accuracy between the other two, but as I said, the reason why I could count on it is because I've set up this laser to point to wherever the threat is, and if I pull the trigger, it's pretty much on point with the laser, with the distance that I have in my home from the door or the window that a threat could possibly come in from. Many like the AR-15 as their personal home defense choice. I love this, but not really for home defense because of a few reasons. One, it's heavy, it's long, it's harder to maneuver around the house with. Yes, it's powerful, it's accurate with the red dot or the optic, but you do need two hands on it. It does have the flashlight as well, which obviously for home defense you want a light because most break-ins happen at night and you want to be able to see what you're possibly going to fire at. One of the benefits of the AR-15 is the capacity, but that also depends on your state. Where I'm at in California, you're limited to 10 rounds in either the AR, the pistol, the shotgun. It's 10 round maximums for whatever platform. This magazine just holds only 10. It looks like a 30 round, but it actually holds 10. But if you're in a state where capacity is unlimited, then the AR is a good option. But again, I go back to the pistol that could also hold a longer 30 round mag, and you'll have the same capacity as the AR. Of course, you won't have the power, but too much power sometimes in your home with over penetration and your living situation, it may not make sense. It might go through walls, it might go through other rooms possibly, versus a typical 9mm, which is the all-around, one of the all-around best home defense rounds. So again, capacity, the shotgun is probably the one with the least capacity. It usually holds, you know, I could put 7 in the tube, 1 in the chamber, 5 extra ones here in case I need. But if I ever go through all those, it's going to take some time to load these 5 back in there. And with the shotgun, you're going to basically blast whatever's in your way, including walls, doors, furniture, whatever's there. So yes, you might be able to hit your target easier with the shotgun, but it's big, it's a little heavy. You do need 2 hands. Another beauty of this small pistol is 1 hand is only required. Yes, you might need to put 2 hands on it when you're shooting or you're aiming for the best possible accuracy, but again, laser on, light on, 1 hand, the other hand could be doing other things, calling 911, pushing family members back into their rooms, whatever the situation may be. Again, in terms of capacity, the AR-15 could pretty much hold the most rounds, but if you get the 30 round mag for the pistol, this is the Glock specifically, they do make 30 round mags depending on your state. I'm in a 10 limit max state, so I'm limited to 10, whether it's in the handgun, in the AR. So capacity doesn't really matter, and typically you don't need 30 rounds in a home defense situation. A few rounds should take care of the threat or hopefully scare them out of the house. And if there's more than a few people, again, 30 rounds. You rarely hear of a home defense situation where someone used 30 rounds or more, or even 10 or more. So I would say the 10 capacity, if you have a small Glock like this that's easy to hold, easy to maneuver with, is enough. And you could have another loaded magazine right next to it in case you need more. Another reason I chose the handgun for my first option is because I could store it next to where I needed, my bed, in a locked compartment with quick access. And I could get to it much quicker than I could get to these other two. This, in order for me to lock it and keep my kids safe and keep my unwanted hands off of it, it's hard to get something next to my bed that I could quickly access, as quick as I could access this guy. If I have enough time to get to something like this, AR-15, it would be a better choice. But again, when time is of the essence and you don't have much time, you hear a window break, you hear a door get kicked in, you need to grab something in a matter of seconds. This is the quickest thing that my hands could get on. In terms of accuracy, the AR-15 is the best, most accurate with the optic, but it's harder to use. It has more to it. It has a charging handle. You have to basically be a little more savvy with guns to use it versus this, where this is unloaded, by the way, but if you have one in the chamber and you could actually even reach the light with 1 finger, you just turn this on, point it to the threat, lasers on the threat, you pull the trigger, you should hit your target. So if I didn't have the laser on this, I wouldn't be as comfortable to use as my first option, because handguns are the hardest to shoot in terms of accuracy, especially the little ones with the shorter sight radius. So would I get a perfect shot in the middle of the night? Even though I have the night sights which glow at night, it's harder to be accurate with this than the other two. But with the laser, make sure if you get the laser that you go to the range, you practice with it, you make sure you adjust it so the laser meets where the bullet hits at the distance where you'll be most likely to use it in your home defense situation. So without the laser, I don't know if I would use the sights as accurately as I want to. If something should happen in the middle of the night and adrenaline's pumping, you might not get a perfect sight picture, you might miss. But with the laser pointing to the target and then you pull the trigger, you're more likely to hit it without having a perfect aim, which is why I trust the handgun for my number one option. Again, this is only my opinion based on my own living situation. If you have a lot of land and a lot of time to get to your weapon, this might be the best option for you, because at long distances it's way more accurate, it's very powerful. And if you have acres of land and someone breaks in from the front gate and you have plenty of time to get to a place where you could aim, fire, get to your weapon real quick, then this would be the option, because the handgun at farther distances is definitely not the best option. In my situation, where there's not much distance between the bed and where the windows and the door is, where possibly someone could break in from, then I decided to go with this. And again, the laser is what helps guide the sights, and the accuracy is I'm depending on the laser versus actually aiming in the middle of the night and, you know, hitting the target perfectly in that state of mind if someone does break in. And the shotgun is, again, all around one of the better home defense weapons, but I decided to choose the handgun over the shotgun. But again, this is good for just blasting what's in front of you should that happen. But getting to this is harder. Getting around corners is not as easy. You need two hands on it versus just one. And again, this is my opinion. I hope this video helps you make the decision on what's the best home defense option for you. Thanks for watching.